What if I told you the most successful people in the world aren't smarter than you? They just started doing something while you were still sleeping. What if I told you the difference between who you are and who you want to become begins before the world wakes up? Imagine waking up before the sun when the world is silent, when there are no notifications, no noise, no distractions. Imagine a time that belongs only to you. That's where the winners are built. That's where life begins to change. Not when everyone is watching, but when nobody is. Most people think success happens in the spotlight. They think confidence is something you discover later. They believe discipline magically appears when life gets easier. But the truth is brutal success is born in the dark. Confidence is built when no eyes are on you. And discipline is a decision you make long before motivation arrives. The habits you practice when the world sleeps define how you show up when the world demands your best. Let me ask you this. How many mornings have you opened your phone before you opened your dreams? How often have you rushed into your day reacting to everyone else's needs while abandoning your own? That single choice, the moment you wake, can make you or break you, because your morning is your foundation. And foundations decide whether a structure stands tall or collapses under pressure. Waking up before the world isn't about perfection. It isn't about waking up at 4 a.m. because someone famous does it. It's about reclaiming ownership of your life. About deciding that your goals deserve the first part of your day, not the leftovers. You deserve to start strong, not chase strength once it's too late. There are 5 morning habits that can change everything. 5 habits that separate those who live by intention from those who live by accident. 5 habits that transform your mindset, your actions, and your future. When you start your day with purpose, your entire world begins to shift. You stop reacting and start creating. You stop wishing and start building. You stop saying onde and start saying today. This isn't about being better than anyone else. It's about being better than who you were yesterday. And it starts right now, before the world wakes up. Morning is not just a time of day, it is a message you send to yourself. When you rise with intention, you tell your mind that your goals matter. When you wake with discipline, you tell your fears they no longer control you. The first habit that changes your life is taking full command of your mind before the noise of the world tries to take command of it for you. Most people wake up and immediately hand their attention to everything that steals from them endless scrolling, pointless notifications, and the opinions of others. They spend their first moments reacting instead of creating. And every time you react first, you lose the chance to design your life before others influence it. Your mind is like a room. If you do not choose what enters it, chaos will. So the first habit is to start every morning with silence and reflection. When your eyes open, do not reach for your phone, reach for your breath. Sit up, breathe deeply, and ask yourself one powerful question. What do I want to build today? Not what do others expect from me? Not what do I fear? What do I want to build? Because if you do not design your day, someone else will design it for you. This habit is not about meditation for hours or chanting mantras. It is about presence. It is about noticing the thoughts that rush in and choosing which ones deserve a place in your mind. It is about gratitude, acknowledging what you already have, so your ambition is driven by purpose rather than frustration. When you begin with gratitude, you remind yourself that you are already equipped to grow. Your brain is most vulnerable in the first minutes after you wake. That is when you train it. That is when you shape it. Feed it thoughts that strengthen you. I am capable. I am learning. I am becoming. Because the way you speak to yourself before sunrise is the way you perform when the sun is high and challenges appear. Some mornings you will not feel motivated. That is normal. Motivation is a guest. Discipline is the owner of the house. Discipline shows up anyway. When you sit still, when you breathe, when you decide your focus before life distracts you, you take control. And that control is power. Without this habit, every other habit crumbles. Take those first minutes, claim them. Guard them like treasure. They are the foundation for every victory the day will demand from you. Every sunrise is a silent invitation to rise stronger, think clearer, and choose who you become. The second habit that will change your life is to move your body before the world moves you. Not for vanity, not to chase an image, but because energy is the fuel of greatness. Your body is not separate from your mind. It is the engine that carries your purpose. When you wake up and choose movement, you are choosing momentum. You are telling your day, I am in motion, and nothing will stop me. You do not need a gym. You do not need equipment. You simply need commitment. Stretch, walk, do push-ups, breathe with power, let your blood flow, and remind yourself that you are alive. You see, your mind may wake up slowly, but your body knows how to wake it faster. When your heart rate rises, your confidence rises with it. When your muscles activate, your ambition activates. Movement is a message, I am ready. Many people wait until they feel good to take action. They say, I'll work out when I feel motivated. But that is why they stay stuck. Action creates motivation. Discipline creates energy. You must move first and your mood will follow. And the mornings you least want to move, those mornings matter most. Because that is when you prove to yourself that comfort no longer commands you. There is a reason champions train early. There is a reason leaders protect their mornings. When you move before sunrise, you build resilience. You show your brain that hard things are not threats, they are opportunities. You become someone who does not wait for permission to grow. Think about every challenge you face during the day. Stress, pressure, uncertainty. If you enter the day with low energy, the smallest obstacle becomes a mountain. But if you enter your day powerful, your struggles become stepping stones. You cannot think like a warrior if you feel like a victim. Strength begins in your body and echoes into your decisions. Movement is not about perfection or performance. It is about presence. It is a reminder that growth is physical, progress is physical, confidence is physical. When your body moves, your entire life moves. Do not underestimate what 5 to 10 minutes can do. One morning of movement will not change your life, but one morning leads to another, and consistency creates transformation. That early movement becomes a habit. That habit becomes identity, and that identity carries you through every battle ahead. Start strong. Move with purpose. Let your body announce your arrival to the day. The third habit that transforms your mornings is feeding your mind with clarity and direction. Too many people drift into their day like a boat without a compass. They let the winds of distraction decide where they end up. You deserve better than accidental progress. You deserve to know exactly what you're building, exactly what matters, exactly where your energy should go. This is where the power of writing your intentions changes everything. Not a long list, not 1,000 goals, just 3 key priorities, 3 commitments that you will honor today. When you choose 3, you choose focus. Because focus is not about doing more, it's about doing what matters. Every time you write those 3 things, you are saying, this is who I am becoming. You are reminding yourself that you are not a passenger in your own life. You are the driver. And drivers do not wait for directions from others. They set the route. Clarity is confidence. When you know your purpose, distractions lose their power. When your direction is clear, doubt becomes quieter. The world will always try to pull you to urgency, into chaos, into everyone else's priorities. That is why the morning must be your time to take charge. If you do not own your schedule will own you. If you do not choose your battles, you will fight battles that were never yours. This habit does not require perfection. You might not complete everything every day. But progress is not measured by perfection. It is measured by consistency. Small wins compound. 3 meaningful actions every day become 60 in 1 month. 600 in a year. That is how goals turn to results. That is how dreams turn into reality. When you write down what matters most, you also bring accountability into your life. You can no longer hide from what you promised yourself. And yes, some days you will question whether your efforts are enough. Some days you will doubt the path. That is normal. But those are the very days when this habit becomes your anchor, reminding you of where you are going and why you started. Your goals deserve clarity. Your future deserves direction. Your ambition deserves commitment. Do not let your mornings slip away to randomness. Take that pen, take that notebook, and take control. 3 priorities, 3 promises, 3 steps closer to the life you want. When you start with intention, you finish with strength. The 4th habit that will reshape your life is to invest in what your future self will thank you for. Not scrolling, not escaping, not numbing yourself with endless entertainment, but learning. Feeding your mind something that upgrades who you are becoming. Every morning is a choice of feed your doubts or feed your growth. And growth begins with knowledge. A few pages of a powerful book, a short audio full of wisdom. A lesson from someone who has already walked the path you want to walk. When you learn in the morning, you are telling your future, I am preparing for you. Most people wait for experiences to teach them. They wait for problems to shape them. But lessons do not need to come from pain, they can come from intention. Information is everywhere. But transformation comes from choosing the right information, the kind that elevates your thinking rather than replacing it with noise. What you put into your mind first thing in the morning becomes the voice that guides you for the rest of the day. So choose a voice that pushes you forward. Think about this, if you spend just 15 minutes a day learning, that becomes 90 hours in a year. 90 hours of growth that most people never make time for. 90 hours that separate the person you are now from the person you are capable of becoming. Knowledge compounds like interest. The more you learn, the more you realize what is possible. And possibility is the fuel of progress. This habit is not about being a genius. It is about being curious. Curious about your strengths, curious about your dreams, curious about a better version of life. Curiosity keeps your spirit alive. Curiosity keeps you moving. You are not done learning. You are not done evolving. You are not done becoming. Learning is also a reminder that you are not alone. Others have struggled like you. Others have faced fear, failure, rejection, and they found a way through. When you read their words or listen to their lessons, you borrow their courage, you borrow their belief, you borrow their strategies until you can build your own. There will be mornings you do not feel like expanding your mind. But progress is not built on feelings. It is built on habits. And if you feed your growth before the world distracts you, you are already ahead. There is knowledge out there that can change your life. Do not let your mornings pass without receiving it. Every page, every idea, every insight is an investment in a stronger you. The 5th habit that will transform your mornings and eventually your life is practicing personal presence, checking in with yourself before the world checks on you. Not everybody needs your attention at sunrise. Not every problem deserves a place in your mind before breakfast. Too many people wake up and immediately rush into obligations, responsibilities, and pressures that drain them before they even begin. But what if your first duty every morning was to yourself? What if you honored your own well, being as the foundation for everything you give to others? Presence is not selfish. Presence is strength. Because the version of you that is grounded, calm, and centered will always have more to offer than the version of you that is rushing, reacting, and overwhelmed. Personal presence means asking yourself, how am I feeling today? What does my mind need? What does my heart need? What does my body need? When you pay attention to yourself early, you repair before things break. You prevent burnout instead of surviving it. Most people live disconnected from themselves. They feel tired and do not know why. They feel angry and cannot explain it. They feel lost and assume it is permanent. That is why mornings matter. They give you the space to notice. When you pause, you can name your emotions instead of being controlled by them. You can recognize stress before it erupts. You can give yourself grace before you give the world your energy. This habit could be journaling, breathing, listening to calm music, or simply sitting with silence. It could be placing your hand over your chest and reminding yourself that you are human, allowed to feel, allowed to rest, allowed to grow. You do not need to pretend to be strong. You need to support your strength so it does not collapse. When you check in with yourself, you also reconnect with your vision. You remind yourself what you are working toward, who you want to become, and why today matters. Every day is a piece of your future. Every morning is the starting line. And you cannot run well if you begin already exhausted from yesterday's weight. Presence builds resilience. Resilience builds confidence. Confidence builds success. It all begins with caring for the one person you cannot live without yourself. The world will take as much of you as you allow. So protect your morning, protect your peace, protect your inner strength. When you rise with presence, you rise unshaken. Now that you've begun claiming your mornings through silence, movement, focus, learning, and presence, it's time to understand the invisible force makes all these habits multiply consistency. Habits alone are powerful, but repeated habits are unstoppable. Too many people fail not because they do not know what to do, but because they do not do it long enough. Change does not happen in a day. Transformation does not arrive in a single sunrise. It arrives when you refuse to give up, even when the results seem invisible, even when doubt whispers that it's too late, even when comfort tempts you to quit. Consistency is not glamorous. It is not exciting. It does not give you instant gratification. But it is the engine behind mastery. The mornings you repeat your rituals, even when you do not feel like it, are the mornings that define your life. One disciplined day might not change the world, but 365 disciplined days create a person who can move mountains. That is the power of showing up again and again. Think of a sculptor shaping a statue. Every morning is a strike of the chisel. Sometimes it seems like nothing is happening. Sometimes the stone feels unyielding. But the sculptor continues because every strike matters. Every strike chips away the unnecessary and reveals the masterpiece within. That is how your mornings work. Each day, each habit, each intentional choice chips away distraction, weakness, and doubt, revealing the stronger, more focused, more capable you. Consistency is also about forgiving yourself when you fail. You will miss a morning. You will stumble. You will get distracted. That is not defeat. That is part of growth. What matters is that you return the next morning. The habits are waiting. The opportunity is waiting. You cannot erase the day you missed, but you can shape the day ahead. And the day ahead shapes your life. Remember, the world does not reward perfection. It rewards persistence. It rewards people who, regardless of obstacles, keep showing up. When you commit to your mornings consistently, you build momentum that the world cannot stop. It starts quietly, invisibly, but over weeks and months, it becomes unstoppable. Your mind becomes sharper. Your energy grows stronger. Your actions become purposeful. And your results speak for themselves. Consistency is the bridge between who you are now and who you want to become. And the bridge is crossed one morning at a time, one habit at a time, one intentional choice at a time. Show up for yourself, even when nobody else sees it. That is how the ordinary becomes extraordinary. That is how life changes before the world even wakes up. Beyond habits and consistency lies a deeper truth that few recognize. The way you start your morning shapes the way the world experiences you. Your energy, your focus, your presence, all of it radiates from the choices you make before sunrise. If you rush, complain, or react, the day mirrors that chaos. But if you begin with clarity, discipline, and intention, the day bends to your control. People underestimate this. They think mornings are just a part of the day. They are not. Mornings are the launching pad of your life. They are the unseen architects of your success. Every decision you make after waking is magnified by the habits you carry. Do you respond with calm or frustration? Do you act with purpose or drift through obligation? The people who seem unshakable, who consistently achieve and inspire, they have mastered the unseen half hour before the world stirs. This is the power of taking ownership of your start. You are no longer a leaf carried by the wind. You are the wind. You are in command. Your focus and energy are weapons. Your morning is the battlefield where you win before the battle even begins. Think about the subtle ripple effect. When you start strong, your mind is clearer. Your body is energized. Your emotions are anchored. You make better decisions. You react less. You create more. You are calm in chaos and decisive in uncertainty. That is not luck. That is habit, repeated with devotion. That is consistency married to intention. And that is the secret that separates ordinary lives from extraordinary ones. The world will always throw noise at you. But when your morning is intentional, you carry an unshakable shield that protects your focus and ambition. The truth is harsh. Most people will never seize this power. They hit snooze, scroll endlessly, react to others, and wonder why their dreams feel distant. But you, who have chosen to wake before the world, who have chosen to move, focus, learn, and anchor yourself, you are building momentum while they are still asleep. Every sunrise becomes a declaration: I am in control, I am growing, I am becoming. You are shaping your life quietly, yet profoundly, and the world will notice the results long before it notices your effort. This is why the small, invisible habits of the morning are not small at all. They are the foundation. They are the lever that moves your entire life. And once you experience the force of a powerful morning, you will never accept mediocrity again. Because the day that begins with intention does not just unfold, it transforms, it elevates. It ignites the potential within you and sets the trajectory for everything you are capable of achieving. By now you understand that mornings are more than routines. They are statements. Every action you take before the world wakes up declares who you are becoming. But there is one final piece that ties everything together: mindset. Your mindset is the lens through which your habits, your discipline, and your consistency are filtered. It determines whether your efforts bear fruit or fizzle into frustration. You can do all the right things: wake early, move your body, write your priorities, feed your mind. And yet if your mindset is weak, scattered, or defeatist, your progress will be limited. The right mindset turns ordinary actions into extraordinary outcomes. Mindset is not something you are born with. It is something you cultivate like a muscle. Every morning is an opportunity to exercise it. When you face the mirror or the quiet of the room, ask yourself, who am I today? What kind of person deserves these moments? What kind of choices will I make that align with the life I want? Those questions are simple, but the answers shape everything. Your mindset sets the tone for your actions, and your actions shape your reality. Small shifts in thinking lead to massive shifts in your results. Most people underestimate the power of their internal dialogue. The thoughts you carry first thing in the morning echo louder than anything else. A negative thought can quietly sabotage your energy before you even step out of bed. But a thought rooted in possibility, in growth, in resilience can energize every cell in your body. When you wake with a mindset focused on what you can create rather than what you cannot control, your day becomes yours. You are no longer a reactor to circumstance. You are a creator of outcomes. This mindset is built through repetition. Every time you choose positivity over complaint, growth over comfort, courage over fear, you reinforce neural pathways that make success your default. This is why habits and mindset work together. Habits create structure, mindset provides power. Habits are the skeleton, mindset is the muscle that moves it. One without the other leaves you incomplete. Together, they make you unstoppable. The morning is your laboratory for mindset mastery. Every sunrise is an experiment in proving to yourself that you are stronger than yesterday, smarter than yesterday, and braver than yesterday. When you cultivate the mindset of someone who wins quietly while the world sleeps, you are preparing for challenges long before they arrive. You are shaping the person who can handle anything. And that is the ultimate reward of waking before the world. You become unshakable, unstoppable, and fully alive.